Already at 1.1 degrees, we see changes that are quite catastrophic. And many believe that if we go beyond 2 degrees, a little bit more than that, or even 1.5, that will be catastrophic. 3 to 4 will be the end of the world as we know it. It won't be the end of the world, but it will be the end of the world as we know it. If we want to stay below 1.5 to 2 degrees, which is the range that has been agreed by governments, that's the maximum that we want to go, not beyond that, because that will be catastrophic. If we want to stay below that, then in addition to the massive emission reductions that we have to do, we also have to start removing carbon from the atmosphere, but at massive levels. Even under the most optimistic scenarios, we have to do 100 to 1,000 gigatons this century. Nothing like that has ever been done, and the technologies are not available. We know how to do them. We know how the chemistry works. We know how the machines would work. We also know how to plant trees. Some nature-based solutions can help, nature-based approaches. But basically, to get to the level of this gigaton level, that will take decades of development to get the cost down, to get everybody engaged. And yet, not only those technologies are not in place, but we need lots of things to agree upon. How to measure these things, how to monitor what people do. How do you agree that I take out so much carbon, you take out something else? Do you mean the same thing? Is this the same amount of carbon? So there are what we say governance gaps that need to be filled. What happens if you exchange credits between countries? You have to be really sure. And what if you put that carbon somewhere and then you don't look carefully and in a few years it comes out again? Then you haven't solved anything. What if you plant a forest and it burns down? Then you haven't saved any carbon. So all of this has to come through improved systems of accounting and monitoring, and that's governance. Now there are places where these things can be governed. There are existing institutions. So we don't need to create something new, but we need to strengthen those existing institutions and raise awareness about these issues, because people forget.